Breaking news! We have a lot to discuss, including a new addition to the roster, important injury updates, and a preview of our upcoming matchup. Before we get into today's exclusive news about a recent roster move and the state of our team, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Let's get right to it. The Atlanta Falcons made a notable move this week, filling their final spot on the practice squad with the signing of cornerback Lamar Jackson. No, not the Ravens quarterback, but a versatile defensive back who has spent time with 4 NFL teams since entering the league as an undrafted free agent in 2020. Jackson, now 26, has played in 23 games, including 6 starts during his rookie year with the New York Jets. Through 4 seasons, Jackson has recorded 31 tackles and 4 passes defensed, but his on-field action has declined in recent years. He most recently appeared in 1 game for the Carolina Panthers in 2023. The Falcons are likely hoping his experience and familiarity with multiple defensive schemes can provide depth and support, especially with some of the challenges we're facing on defense right now. And speaking of challenges, let's not forget that this move comes on the heels of a 3-point loss to the Saints. The Falcons need every advantage they can get as they prepare to face Jackson's old team, the Denver Broncos, this Sunday at Mile High Stadium. The Broncos, by the way, nearly stunned the Kansas City Chiefs last week but fell short after a blocked field goal as time expired. The special teams struggles are a shared theme, it seems, as we're still reeling from missing 3 field goals against the Saints. Moving on to some more pressing, and unfortunately less positive, news: injuries. Head coach Raheem Morris shared some tough updates on several key players. First, the good news: Mike Hughes, who left the Saints game with a neck injury, has been cleared to return. His absence was definitely felt on the field, and having him back is a relief for a secondary that has been tested week in and week out. But that's where the good news ends. Morris confirmed that Troy Anderson has re-aggravated an injury that already cost him significant playing time earlier this season. It's a tough break for the promising second-year linebacker who was looking to solidify himself as a centerpiece of the defense. Falcons fans, you know how much potential Anderson has. This setback stings. The blows don't stop there. Both Taquan Graham and James Smith-Williams are dealing with injuries that Morris described as not so great. Dig a little deeper and you'll see why that matters. In recent weeks, defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake has leaned more heavily into the defensive front rotation, giving Graham and Smith-Williams bigger roles. And it's been working. Their absence will be felt on a defensive unit that, let's be honest, has struggled to find consistency this season. Opportunity for young talent. With injuries piling up, there could be an upside for young talent. Specifically, it could pave the way for rookie Brandon Dorlus to finally make his regular season debut. The 2024 4th-round pick is waiting for his chance to shine. And let's not forget Rukor Haroro, who made his debut only to succumb to injury shortly thereafter. If the Falcons hope to maintain any semblance of a defensive front, we need these young guys to step up, and fast. The reality is this: Atlanta's defense is already weak and inconsistent. Losing more depth is going to hurt. The addition of Lamar Jackson could provide a short-term fix, but these injuries put even more pressure on our coaches and defensive schemes to deliver. It's going to be an uphill battle. So what do you think, Falcons fans? Could the addition of Lamar Jackson make a difference on this roster? How concerned are you about injuries to key defensive players? Will we see the rookies step up to the plate, or will it be a tough stretch for the Falcons' defense? Now, let's get to the big headlines: the Matt Judon trade, Robinson's heroics, and what could be a surprising start for Michael Penix Jr. later this season. Grab your popcorn because this is going to be a trip. Overreaction Monday: is the Matt Judon trade an epic fail? Let's get right to it, Falcons Nation. The Matt Judon trade. What seemed like a blockbuster move before the season has been, thus far, a crushing disappointment. The Falcons traded a 3rd-round pick to the Patriots for Judon, a proven pass-rushing stud who had 32 sacks in just 37 games over 3 seasons. The idea was simple: bring in Judon, pair him with Justin Simmons, and solve Atlanta's long-standing pass-rushing issues. But here we are, 10 games in, and the results speak for themselves. Judon has 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 5 pressures in 10 games. To put that in context, he posted better numbers in just 4 games last year. Falcons fans, it's hard to sugarcoat it, this trade didn't work out. We rank last in the NFL with 9 total sacks and 27th in pressures. For a team fighting to stay atop the NFC South, that's not just bad, it's unacceptable. Now, before we grab our pitchforks, let's be realistic. Is it too early to call this trade a complete and utter disaster? Maybe. There's still time for Juden to turn things around, especially if he heats up down the stretch or makes a big splash in the playoffs. But the odds don't look good. If you're ready to write off the trade, I don't blame you. Juden didn't deliver. However, I'm not ready to give up on him, yet. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. On a brighter note, let's give some love to our Week 10 MVP, Robinson. Despite the 3-point loss to the Saints, Robinson was nothing short of spectacular. He rushed for over 100 yards, caught 3 passes for nearly 30 yards, and scored 2 touchdowns, one of which was easily one of the best runs of the year. Robinson was a one-man wrecking crew, scoring 14 of Atlanta's 17 points and keeping the offense alive when it seemed like no one else could. It's a shame to waste such a dominant performance, but Robinson's growth is a bright spot in what has been a frustrating season. His ability to keep plays alive and punish opposing defenses is special, and we'll need every bit of that fire if we're going to turn the tables on the Broncos next week. So congrats, Robinson. Here's hoping his next MVP-worthy performance comes with a W. Now, here's where things get interesting, Falcons fans. Let's talk quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins had a tough game against the Saints. Sure, he threw for over 300 yards, but his 60% completion rate, 3 sacks, and ill-timed interception weren't exactly what we needed. Atlanta's offense has struggled to score 20 points all season, and their inability to convert on third downs is killing us. But despite some ups and downs, don't expect Cousins to sit on the bench. That said, Michael Penix Jr. is waiting in the wings. The rookie made his regular season debut in garbage time earlier this season, but when will he actually get his chance? It all depends on Cousins' performance. As head coach Raheem Morris recently said, the only person who sets that deadline is going to be Kirk. If Cousins plays at a high level, Penix will be on the sidelines. But what happens if Atlanta clinch a playoff spot early? Could Penix start the final game of the season? It's possible. Imagine it's Week 18, the Falcons have clinched a postseason berth, and we're up against the lowly Panthers with nothing on the line for the playoffs. Wouldn't it make sense to give Penix some meaningful reps? Of course, this is all speculation, but it's worth considering. Cousins' success, or failure, will dictate Penix's schedule, but a surprise debut isn't out of the question. Alright, Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. Is it time to call the Matt Juden trade a failure? Can Robinson continue to carry this team on his back? And are you ready to see Michael Penix Jr. take the field? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Go Falcons!